Hi, David here with some project news. Powered by Fundit, the project leaving Dublin made it to exhibition in Ireland and on to a 10-month engagement in Melbourne, Australia, where it was seen by over 100,000 people in 2012 and 2013. The book, On Leaving, also came alive as the result of a solid pre-sales campaign mounted on the Fundit platform. It went on to win Book of the Year at the National Print Awards the following year. In launching my latest project here, I am hoping to find the same successful outcomes for the final part of my ongoing emigration project, Beyond Leaving. There are some great rewards for you, and as supporters of this project, I look forward to welcoming you to the show in November. Please choose your award and complete your pledge after this short video introduction. Thank you.
Well, I suppose I was quite optimistic going away because although I didn't know my ex-wife, girlfriend at the time, very well, we were going away to have a child and to try and make things work. So I was going away optimistic, new life, and then came back. I don't want to say a dramatic, broken person, but in death, divorced, separated from my daughter, having gone through various violent assaults and living in poorish conditions and not earning too much money. So definitely going away, my expectations were of a fresh beginning and leaving Ireland, which was in economic crisis, no job, but to go to a mega city like Sao Paulo in a third world country, it was always going to be challenging, but I think the challenges really exceeded what I expected. Beyond becoming a father and marriage, just the place itself is tough life. Overwhelming, yeah. Well, my circumstance maybe more so than others.
I think there's lots of Irish, and I say Irish people, but I'm sure it's the same for lots of people who've kind of left their homes behind. Um, there's lots of Irish people here, and we do all live in that limbo of, are we staying, are we going? And I think some people are more certain that Toronto is just a stop for a period of time and that eventually they want to go back to Ireland. But I'm always curious whether those expectations match up, because there's lots of things that you leave behind, and as much as you've been away for whatever amount of time it is, therefore, the place you left behind has evolved as well, and things aren't the same, and people have been living their lives, so there's lots of gaps, and I know for me, 6 years, like a lot has happened for people at home in 6 years, and my family's changed, and my brother's married and he just had a baby a couple of months ago, and friends have gotten married and they're starting to have kids, so the life that you sort of had with those people at that point in time before you left would not be the same now. So yeah, it's and that always creates this interesting situation, and I think I would actually, I do sometimes wonder if I'll go back, and I think a lot about it would almost be like moving somewhere else.
We met all these Americans who thought that we were ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, because our culture, because we look effectively, if I didn't open my mouth, it was white people. And there's this dissonance that Americans give you where it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it doesn't quack like a duck, and that's weird. And then suddenly we had a third person. No, there's more of us. Everything we're telling you is true. And she brought the party, and she brought the context. And then, after a few months, she had left my best friend, Damon, and her had started dating before she left. And he's an American citizen. And one day he shows up. So there's four of us. And four of us can't live in the flat. And she becomes a nanny a live-in nanny elsewhere, and they've like a house within a house, and they live down the street from us then. And by that point, we had those guys to talk to and to have fun with and to cope along with. And we had another couple, Nate and Amanda, we had a friend called Toaster, and we had people. And then the winter came, and Christina's visa ran out, and she went home.
The situation that families like ours are now in within Ireland, and that's being caught in this rent trap, having no spare money to save or do anything nice as such, because the rents have just gone through the roof. So that's, yeah, it's the kibosh on the art for the time being.
I mean, I'd wanted to be a farmer since I was a little boy, you see, so, you know, if you like animals and you like the countryside, you know, that's kind of pretty good as well. So, I mean, what's quite good on the farm is that actually that you didn't have to travel far to work, for example. You know, the travelling can get you down on this, the M25, any of the motorways get rammed. Whereas on the farm you can kind of plan your work day as you want. So, you know, one day you might think, right, I'm going to work in that field, just cycle down there or take the tractor down there and do some fencing or whatever, you know. It's just completely different, really. But I think you're definitely closer to nature. Say, for example, you know, you could be working down by the river, even if you're just cutting back the weeds or doing the fencing. But then, you know, you might see a kingfisher fly up the river, you know, which is great, really, when you walk down by the waterside. But it just depends what you like. You know, a lot of people prefer the city or whatever, but for me, I'm a much more country person, so, you know, for me that's quite special.
After 5 years here, we decided to head back to LA for a few years. The recession had just kicked in, and I was like, let's go to America. And I guess I kind of wanted to finish out that.
And so in the time you were here for that 5 years, were you working in the video industry? Or
A little bit, but it was really hard to get into.
Okay.
I think maybe I did 2 shows in 5 years.
Okay.
So it was a lot of Mickey Mouse work here and there, you know.
Okay. So when you went back to the US, then how did that all look?
You know, they were having their own recession too, so I guess it was kind of, you know, but it was the devil I knew.
Yeah.
Plus, I kind of felt that I wasn't finished in America. But I don't know, 5 years here kind of opened my eyes a little bit to what exactly America is or what it stands for. Felt maybe this was not the place to get older.
Dublin?
Los Angeles, America. San Francisco had changed a lot too, so living there was not an option. And
Because of the cost?
cost of living is 6 times higher than everywhere.